props to the Dallas Mavericks. I got to apologize. I didn't see this coming.
I don't think anyone saw this coming, right? You could say the Dallas Mavericks thought they were going to win the series. That's one thing to say. But to think that they would blow them out like this by 40?
Then I want to be like Luka.
Oh no, they're shredding him.
And Luka Doncic, man, I think more and more people are starting to see what a lot of us have already been seeing, the potential that he has. He's showing it right now.
His ceiling is one of the 10 greatest players ever.
Oh boy.
And you are seeing it night in, night out.
Now, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I have to give credit to Nick Wright. He's been one of those guys that's been on the nose with this one. Luka Doncic, he has great potential to be one of the GOATs. This was said during his second year where he was nominated for Most Improved Player. But that's deceiving, knowing that he really is better than the Most Improved Player. He's averaged 28.99 in the second season. But still, there are some people, they were doubting him and his greatness.
I tried to Men in Black myself because you mentioned that Luka might be better than Kobe Bryant. And now you're talking about Michael Jordan and Tim Boyd.
It may have been a stretch to say that Luka Doncic was already reaching the heights of Kobe Bryant, but to imagine his potential, I think it's pretty within reach for him.
I said he's in that tier.
That's the potential. We're not saying he's there yet, but that's the potential.
Oh my gosh.
He's legit.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's legit.
Listen.
Doncic went back to the locker room with a hurt ankle, and now they're up by 1. Doncic nails the three-pointer.
Luka would play in his first playoff game in this 2020 bubble restart against the Los Angeles Clippers, the team that was studded with stars on the defensive end with 2 primary defensive wings, some of the best defensive wings in all time. Luka Doncic, to his credit, his first playoff game ever, was not afraid of the challenge, took on Kawhi Leonard, the reigning champion at the time.
Last night, Luka Doncic scored 42, although he was more focused on his 11 turnovers, which we'll get to shortly.
In his debut game, he scored 42 points. I mean, doesn't that just tell you how great he is? And Luka, look, there were some challenges during this series, and there were some doubts coming from a lot of people.
All right.
This is a generational player. It's gonna be a kid
Are they going to get out of the first round?
I mean, come on now. Are we really going to talk about him not making it past the first round if he were to lose this series in his first playoff series ever? And are we just going to ignore the things he was doing during that playoff series? Crazy stuff. I mean, this is unparalleled.
By the way, with those 2 points, fastest to 70 in playoff history in your first playoff run, Luka Doncic.
I mean, the injuries, it's unfortunate, man. Luka twisting his ankle right there. It was tough seeing him having to, hop back into the locker room.
Luka Doncic will return. He's going to give it a go.
But despite all that, he was still giving the Clippers tons of problems.
The 2 best wing defenders in all of basketball since Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan are Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
I want you to understand the gravity of the situation. This Clippers team was set to be one of the best defensive teams, and Luka, he was hurt.
Gotta respect that.
And he was still finding ways to be impactful on offense.
Yep. I want to know why they can't stop that conga line that the Mavericks have now over the last 2 games going to the basket.
So you're telling me right now that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George couldn't stop a second-year Luka Doncic? Okay, yeah, that just says everything you need to know right there.
Why can't Opie pooping on them? They can't keep Opie from the hoop. What's going on, Skip?
Who's Opie?
A lot of people, they just doubted Doncic throughout his career. They said, look, he's from Europe. They said, look, he's not proven. They were afraid to even pick him in the draft. The Kings were, the Phoenix Suns. I mean, come on.
You know who Luka? My guy,
Opie?
Yeah, look.
No, he's Opie?
Baby Bird.
He went from Larry Bird to Opie?
I call him Baby. He got a bunch of names.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic finished 4th in MVP voting that year. He was the second youngest player to ever be named in the top 5 in that race. And he would have been the youngest if, The
Mavericks are operating at a higher clip now than they did in the regular season, and you mentioned this.
And it's crazy to think that after such a strong statistical season from Luka Doncic, that he would have an even better statistical playoff series against the Los Angeles Clippers.
Well, he's no Baby Bird.
Yo, he's Baby Bird.
He can't shoot
Skip,
a lick.
Hold on, wait a minute.
That is such a stupid thing to say, okay? I mean, come on. We've all seen Luka and his signature step backs.
Long three-pointer. Puts it in! Luka Doncic from way downtown!
This game 4 would be a very close game throughout, and you would see Luka Doncic just being prime Luka at this point.
Luka had attempted 10 last-minute game-tying or go-ahead shots this season. And before last night, he had missed all 10 of them.
And then there's Luka. The shot heard around the world.
And what a way for Luka Doncic to cap off a historically great performance.
Back to Doncic. Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang!
I mean, just listen to these ridiculous box score numbers.
Doncic goes 43, 17 boards, 13 assists.
Ernie, can you repeat that again?
It's really insane. A triple-double with 43 points, 17 rebounds, 13 assists. Second most points in a triple-double behind only Russell Westbrook.
You know, Shaq gets mad when we go crazy.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I just said calm it down a notch. That's all I said.
Why?
Shaq, man, what's going on with you, man? Are you not impressed at what you've seen? This is something that is rare.
Why?
Why?
Look at that. Look at that game.
No, he's great, but I've seen that before.
What? You can't even name a handful of people that have done that. That's how rare this is.
No, he's nice. He can play.
No, he can't play. He can do better than play, Shaq. He great.
Well, I'd say this.
Okay, but is he the top guard?
The top guard as far as what?
Answer the question.
As far as MVP voting goes, the only guard that's above him is James Harden. And it's like, so what if he's not the top guard? He's one of the best players.
Listen, if you're going to...
No, is he the top guard? See, you doing all that talking at a high level.
Hold on.
Is he the top guard?
I'm saying
Steph,
this.
James or him?
Look, I'm not even talking about potential right now. I'm not even talking about him being potentially a GOAT. I'm talking about right now. At this point, he's one of the best.
Steph, James, or him? Damon, add that in there.
He's getting there.
Man, there's something with Shaq. I don't know what it is with him and players that are from Europe. It's always like this with Shaq. But, you know, other people were noticing.
First of all, a couple of things. Number one, Luka's the truth. Luka's the truth. Luka's the best, I'm going to say it on national television, Luka's the best white boy I've seen since Larry Bird.
In his second year, I repeat, in his second year, he's putting up numbers that are rivaling those of prime Kawhi.
Like that. He's averaging damn near a triple-double, shooting over 51% from the field, nearly 38% from three-point range, busting their living you-know-what.
And I know some people, they like to take it a bit too far, right? Talking about the shot and comparing it to other greats.
But what this reminds me of most is the famous shot that Michael Jordan hit over Craig Ehlo and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
But I'm pretty sure in a few years, we may look back at that shot and say, yeah, that's the moment we knew Luka was going to be one of the best players. Because it may well be the case that Luka, he's going to ascend to that level. And, man, this kid was doubted. He wasn't even picked number 1.
Remember back when he was drafted, the scouting report was that while he'd been dazzling playing in the EuroLeague, winning Final Four MVP honors as a 19-year-old, there was, yes, a fear. He was already close to his ceiling, might not be able to adapt to the NBA game, and accordingly, he didn't go number 1 overall.
He was 19 when he got drafted. What do you mean he hit his ceiling? He's 19. At this point, you have to wonder what's going on here.
Or even number 2, but 3rd. And even then, it was Atlanta who selected him, then traded him to Dallas in exchange for picks that became Trae Young and Cam Reddish.
And the team that picked him then traded him off to another team. It's like, what is this, man? Are you serious right now? This is insane.
To me, he looks like he's the best basketball player on the basketball court. But not only that, he's playing with the most confidence. And that's what's got the Dallas Mavericks in this series.
And although that was true, the Clippers, man, they were able to win this series in 6. You look at Doncic here frustrated, gets a technical. Yeah, things just weren't going their way. And following the next season, Luka, well, he had a good year, but not as good as his second year. Playoff time was coming around, and man, Luka Magic was in town, and he was in session for another one.
Number 1. But number 1. Someone tell me why I shouldn't say Luka Doncic is the best player in the world.
And after a fantastic season from Luka, I know you'll see the numbers, and they're not as good as the season before that one. But Luka, he's been more clutch during this season. He's been more composed. You can see he's getting more comfortable out there, even though the numbers aren't as high.
And what you always wonder about Dallas on a given night, where is he going to get the supplemental scoring from? And tonight, what big performances you got from Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, and Jalen Brunson.
And we always knew if the Dallas Mavericks were to win a series in the playoffs, it would be because of the others, right? It wouldn't be just because of Luka. We know Luka can put up the numbers. He had a 30-point triple-double in this first game against the Clippers in the first round. I mean, he still keeps it going. This guy is just so good, and he's so unguardable. And it's like, you just have to hope that the others don't step up.
He has had 3 triple-doubles in those 7 playoff games. 2 of them were at least 30 points in the triple-double.
So the arguments against him being, not good enough for the playoffs, you've heard people saying, when is he going to come out of the first round? I mean, for goodness sake, just look at the opponent he's had to play throughout these 2 years. Look at this. Kawhi Leonard? Are you kidding me?
Only LeBron James and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did that at the age of 22.
And boy, he was putting up the numbers. He was showing up in big games and big moments. So, what else could he do, man?
But man, he was hot. 19 in the first quarter.
Luka had 19 in the first quarter, 42 in the game, and they won and now have the 3-2 edge as Game 6 heads to Dallas.
At home, on the road, it doesn't matter. Luka's going to show up. He's going to put up the numbers, and he's going to carry his team as much as he can. It's just that simple.
Doncic, 42, 8 rebounds, career playoff high 14 assists.
And just like last season, look at who he's doing this against. The Clippers, Kawhi, and Paul George. This is insane. And yet we're still going to criticize him not winning the first round.
And I'm watching Luka Doncic average 35, 9, and 8. I'm going to say that again.
It felt like there were 2 Lukas in this matchup. And it felt like Kawhi and Paul George were just one guy. It's like they couldn't do anything to stop him. Luka was simply unguardable. And dare I say it, he was unstoppable.
35, 9, and 8. On 47% shooting. And 43% shooting from three-point range.
Now look, I'm going to say it right here. He is not better than a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo, especially not in these playoffs. But Luka, man, he's valuable.
You had to put everyone in a trip. Who would get the most in a trade? Who's the most valuable commodity in the NBA? The answer is Luka Doncic, and it's not close.
And you can practically hear Stephen A shaking his head in disagreement. And look, I disagree too. But it doesn't change the fact to what Luka is doing is just simply putting him on a pedestal above most people.
Luka Doncic is beating 2 superstars. Certainly Kawhi's a superstar. Paul George is a perennial all-star.
Okay, I'm just going to put back the numbers again. Okay, the number of points Luka scored, the number of points Kawhi and Paul George scored combined. Yeah, just look at the gravity of the situation.
He is controlling this series. He is toying them. At times, he's treating them like little kids. At times.
I mean, just look at how much he's accomplished already in this playoffs. Scoring as many 40-point games as these guys on the board, and then scoring more 40-point games than a lot of these seasoned vets. Wow.
It is what we are watching history is the answer here. We are watching history and a historically great player and guys that just have no answer for him.
And although they didn't have an answer for Luka, they did have an answer for the Mavs and the Clippers. After losing Game 5, being down 3-2, they ended up winning the next 2 games and playing in the pivotal Game 7, showing up, right? Kawhi was a big instrumental key piece of it.
And as you said earlier, Jeff, it's tough here. You watch a guy like Luka Doncic play the way he played, and his season's over.
Man, it's rough. It's rough losing a Game 7. And it's rough knowing that now Luka is going to get the same criticisms of him never making it out of the first round. If he's this great player that you are... Enough. Just look at this tweet, man. It says it all. He was doing his damn best, okay? He just didn't have enough help. It's that simple. It's the same arguments you've had with LeBron James.
You know what I decided when I eliminate becoming Kangaroo Jalen and start getting back into the gym and shooting my one leg? That I want to be like Luka. You can't take for granted his game.
Now on to next season, which is this current season that just finished. Luka Doncic playing the Nets team, he was clutch, and boy did he come up big. But Kevin Durant, look, he was also a great player. Pull-up three-pointer, bang. I mean, this guy was coming off a great playoff run. Luka passing it to Dinwiddie, who just got acquired via Porzingis trade, and he wins it for the team. This is insane. Luka's a scary man.
So how scared should the rest of the league be about late game Luka?
Well, look, they should be very scared, but it's not just about late game Luka. It's about skinny Luka.
And a lot has happened since last season. Rick Carlisle got fired. Jason Kidd now is the new coach. The Dallas Mavericks having a better defensive scheme against teams like the Warriors. The Warriors were losing against the Mavs. And it's like the Mavs, they look better. They look better than they were last season, even though Porzingis wasn't playing anymore. Even though now they're a smaller lineup. I mean, Pat Bev will tell you how great Luka is himself.
That matchup of guarding Luka, what makes him so tough?
One, that his intelligence, like he's physical as fuck and flops at the same time, which is the exact same thing I do.
And as though to spite me, Luka Doncic unfortunately came down with a calf strain injury during the last day of the season. I mean, this is just bad luck for the Dallas Mavericks. Going into a playoff series, you're wanting to win the first round.
At the end of the regular season, the very last day, Luka Doncic suffers an injury, and now there is a lot of speculation about his status.
And Woj, well, he'd give us some updates.
25 minutes before our show, you tweeted that Doncic will be out game 1.
Okay, yeah, that's not good. Okay, let's just hope that the Mavericks get Luka as soon as possible. Maybe game 2.
Right now, the Jazz are a prohibitive favorite, according to the odds makers.
Well, yeah, I'm not surprised at that point. Luka being out is a big loss, and I take that into factor as well.
I'm told unlikely, Greeny, that he right now is still recovering from that lower calf strain.
For some reason, the Jazz are struggling to shoot threes. And Luka Doncic not playing, though, is going to help the Jazz a lot.
Game 3 is tonight, and Luka is currently listed as questionable.
The Utah Jazz also looked very bad. I mean, the three-pointers kept pouring in for the Mavericks. It was an onslaught for three-pointers, and the Jazz couldn't do much to stop it. And it's like, you lost 2 games without Luka?
The Jazz are in trouble, and Luka Doncic's return is on the horizon.
And boy, Luka Doncic now is back, and he's clutch making threes, but the Jazz were able to counter and be clutch themselves. Dinwiddie missing the shot, unlike the game against the Nets, and Stephen A is disgusted.
I'm disgusted they even played Luka Doncic today. The fact of the matter is Jalen Brunson was on a roll.
Although Stephen A makes a good point, Doncic is just a player you cannot not play.
Dallas. Oh. Luka was excellent. Utah was not.
This Utah team looks fraudulent. It's really sad to say, but you know, the Mavericks, they're doing what they have to do to win this series easily.
Nobody likes a 2-0 lead less than the Utah Jazz. So as long as Luka is back by game 3, the Mavs will still make the finals.
Even though things look good for the Mavs, people still had their doubts.
He's a better player. And he's unguardable.
Let him win a round first.
Okay, well, give it 72 hours, buddy.
And what do you think will happen, right? This is the Utah Jazz we're talking about. Frauds, complete frauds.
The Suns, they repeatedly targeted Luka, as you pointed out, Perk.
Now, after winning your first series, you're playing the best team in the league. That's just how the playoffs goes, man. Jason Kidd wasn't happy with the performance of the others, and Luka, man, he needed to play better on defense.
We gotta get other guys going.
And the media, for some reason, they were saying that the Mavs losing game 1 was because of Luka?
Offensively, I think Luka needs to trust his guys a little more.
Thank you.
And take a little piece out of CP3's book.
No, Luka, he's playing fine, okay? He's doing what he has to do. It's up to the rest of the guys to step up.
The Suns keep rolling, beating the Mavs for a 2-0 series lead. Luka Doncic gave it his all, scoring a game-high 35 points.
And now with the Suns up 2-0, Booker was hailed.
D-Book is a young vet. Like, when you look at his age and the years that he's played and what he's already accomplished, it's really phenomenal to continue to watch his game grow.
Even though Luka was the better player between these two, the media was pushing something that, you know, they're trying to make it seem like Booker was on par with Luka.
Which star would you rather have, Luka or Booker?
Booker has a better team around him, right? This is not even a debate. Luka is the better player. Booker just has a better team around him.
I think I would take Luka long term. I get what you're saying, because there's more versatility to his game, and I look at Devin Booker as a pure assassin. Luka, there's more to his game, and we get that. But for the purposes of these playoffs, I would take Booker over Luka.
That literally makes no sense. And thankfully, we have Kendrick Perkins, of all people, being reasonable.
Oh, with all due respect, I'm taking Luka Doncic all day long.
Folks, gather around, because I'm about to tell you something that a lot of you may not know. Luka is making playoff history. Look at how much points he's averaging per game. He's played over 15 games now, and he's tied with Michael Jordan for most points per game in the playoffs.
Luka right now, today, is tied for the most points per game in their playoff careers with none other than Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
So in no way am I even trying to compare these two. Luka is clearly better, but Booker, it seemed like this was all getting into his head. And now the Suns were leading the series 3-2. Yeah, the Mavs won some games, and Luka, he wasn't done. I think Booker may have poked the bear a bit too much. Luka, now enraged, was taking on the mantle of the best player on the court. Game 6, he was just dominant, and you could see it here, just splashing 3-pointers over guys like Ayton. And now we were about to see the Luka special. Now it's a tied series, 3-3. Luka with the magic. No pressure on Luka, all the pressure on the Suns.
He's part LeBron, he's part Larry Bird.
The part of his game that allows him to elevate to such heights, that's not something Booker has, unfortunately. Luka is just that much better.
This game psychologically is on a different level between him and Devin Booker.
Luka may be the younger guy. He may be 23 years old, but he has a lot more experience than guys like Devin Booker in the big stages. And look at his playoff scoring. He's in the elite company. Just look at these names right here.
But boy, are they in hot water now, because they have entered the ring with a potentially all-time great killer in elimination games. Going back to his time as a teenager in Europe, Luka has been a beast in these situations.
He's #1 in points per game in the postseason elimination game. That just tells you how scary Luka is. And boy, you just can't stop the inevitable.
All right, Chris Paul had 10, Devin Booker 11. Stephen A., I'll start with you here. What went wrong for the Suns?
Everything.
Everything that had to go wrong for the Suns did go wrong in that Game 7 and more. It got worse for the Suns, man. They were trailing by 30 points at the half. Oh my goodness.
Here in the first half. Stunning. 27-point lead. Down goes Johnson. 3.
Dallas is leading by 38 points in the third quarter. No, scratch that, 40 now.
Doncic. Wide open Powell. No one's on him.
And again, the cascade of boos coming down here.
So with Luka scoring as many points in the first half as the entire Suns team, how many points do you think Devin Booker had? 2. And how much field goals did he make in that first half? None. He was 0 of 7. Chris Paul, same thing. He was 0 of 4. And he had 1 point. Luka Doncic was simply dominating them, and they could do nothing about it. It was that simple. He was the best player. It's obvious. It was obvious from the beginning. But it took this much pain. It took this much pounding for them to realize, okay, Luka is better than we thought. And Patrick Beverley, just, you got to give him his flowers. He was right. He predicted this.
CP is a dear friend, but they deserve all the slander that they are going to get over the coming weeks and months for that Game 7 performance.
And with this video, I hope you guys see what I'm trying to convey here, and that is that Luka is an all-time great already at his 4th year right now. He's making a run that is similar to a LeBron James and the Cavs in 2007. He might make it to the finals if he beats the Warriors. I think he can make it to the finals. He's that great of a player. He's that great of a talent. And I'm telling you, it took so long for many people to get behind the boat of Luka is a great player. He was a legit MVP candidate every year, except for his rookie year. And now it's like, it's obvious, man. It's obvious just the caliber of player he is. It's obvious how great he is. And finally, we're seeing more people acknowledge it now.